Hi, I'm James and welcome to Shannon Adventures. Fishing new spot today, trying to get out of most of the weather actually, and so far so good. I'm avoiding a lot of it. Weather is to turn absolutely shocking in a while, so I'm trying to get a session in before it really turns bad. I'm in a new spot today that I've never fished before, and it's fishing off these rocks. I have access just down here just to land fish if I need to. Well, hopefully I'll need to, and have to walk up through forestry to get back. I'm not looking forward to that again because it was already awkward enough coming down. But I'm hopeful today. I suppose I'll call this the end of the cod hunt as well. I'm not actually fishing for cod, but season's over. So this is the last episode, we'll say, of that. But today I'm mainly targeting ray. So I brought a few mackerel with me, and I'm fishing left rods and up and over and right rods at pulley. Again, I don't know, never fished this mark before, but it's lovely and deep. I'm hitting maybe, I don't know, 80, 90 yards out, and it's dropping for maybe 15, 20 seconds. So it's nice and deep. I have a current line now currently as the tide's coming in. It's just hitting the edge here and just pushing out. So as the tide comes in more, that current line will start to move in, I imagine. Tides are quite small as well today. So I think high tides at like 3.5 and low tides at 2.6 or 2.5 or something. So I'm not expecting a massive current run today, even though I have casted this way and my legs have swung right. But the outgoing is usually the worst here, so I'm just going to fish it for a while. I think high tide's at 12:30 and it's currently 10:30. So I have 2 hours before top of the tide. So I'm in the worst of the current right now, really. So yeah, the target today is ray. There is a point or possibility of some conger and some huss, but again, I've never fished this mark, so we're going to wait and see how it goes. Hopefully get a few fish. So yeah, that's it. Let's get some baits ready. Let's get the next cast out. Okay, it's pulling there now. There's something rattling it. Okay. We'll reel it in and see what's going on. Assumption is it is a strap, just judging by the way the bite's there. I'm not going to strike into it, I'm just going to reel down, hoping that circle hooks in. Oh, again, feels like nothing's there. Maybe something very small if it is anything. There's probably a strap on that. It's not a ray anyway. If he even is still on now, feels quite light now. Nope, nothing. So I'm just going to rebait that. Even though there is still plenty of bait on it, I'm still happier putting on, well, I feel happier putting on new fresh bait than using this bait again. So it looks like there was crabs and maybe a conger at it. I'm not too sure, but I'm going to rebait anyway and cast it back out and see. So all I'm going to do is bait up my up and over. So because I'm using a smaller hook, so on this rig I'm using trios. I'm just going to knock off the whole fillet of mackerel here, like so. So just knocking off the full fillet here. Then I'm just going to grab scissors, and because I've got the other rig with 5/0s and 6/0s on it, I'm not going to cut it straight down the center. I'm actually going to cut at a slight angle. That way I'll get a slightly smaller bait for one rig, like so. So I get one slightly bigger, one slightly smaller. So I keep that for the bigger rig. And then for the up and over, just gonna do what I always do. I like to keep the smaller side of the bait down low or down at the end, just for more aerodynamics. So I'll start with the thicker end. Bring that through. Go out the bottom, put it all tight. Give that now a good binding of elastic. I'm just using the Tronics heavy elastic. I find this one works the best. Well, it's my favorite elastic anyway. Give that a few winds. Back down it. And then I'm just going to focus on the eye of the hook. Stop it coming back up or down the bait. And snap it off. Grab my little circle, slide that all the way up, 2 or 3 wraps, nick it in, and there we go. So we get that cast out there now. So we're gone an hour and a half into the session there now. Going to give it a good bit, but an update for now. Left rod I've ended up getting a doggy on, that was on the up and over, and the right rod I've only had rattles on, but I don't know what it's been, probably strap or something. But I'm going to probably move the right rod in a bit closer. I'm going to swap it out for an up and over and just keep it in close, especially with the height I'm off the water. I want to make sure that bait is tight to the bottom. And as well, just on this mark, walked up and down this a few times, just making sure it's fine. Access down to the water is no problem at all. So if I do get something decent, I can walk it down, and there's a few little gullies I can just guide the fish into. So it should be nice. The weather is a lot better than what it was meant to be. It was meant to be absolutely pissing out of the heavens. But luckily, touch wood, that's not going to change. I can see showers down this way and I can see showers that way. But we seem to be okay in our little pocket right now. No wind either, but I can see out maybe 100 yards, there's a fair few squalls coming across the water. So we're definitely in a nice little pocket right now. Worst comes to worst, sit in the bivvy, have the rain jacket there, it's not going to kill me. But we're going to fish on. And yeah, I'm going to change that rod to an up and over. So, still don't have absolutely anything. It's gone very slack. I'm surprised. Current has changed at this point. So I was kind of hoping for something over the high tide. That just hasn't happened. Just going to reel in, rebait. We're here now since 10:30, I believe, and it's now just gone 1. So the tide should have just turned there now in the last 20 minutes. But I know the low tide today is at like a 2 point something. It's like 2.6 or 2.5. So it shouldn't even really pull going out. Bait looks a little stripped. That's not too bad actually. I've cast it up. This right rod, I've put it up further right. It was much shallower up there, so I was kind of wondering if maybe it might work. But obviously it has not. So like this bait, let's see, that bait's not really chewed up all that well. So to me, there's not a lot of crabs either. Just surprised that. I was definitely expecting here to be a good shout for an early ray. Grab a few baits I've prepared there earlier. But yeah, I was hopeful for this to be an early ray, Mark. Because there's a few rays starting to show up now. So I was hoping this to be decent enough from the get-go. There's a few rays starting to turn up already. So my assumption was that they would be here in the deep water if they were going to be anywhere. Give this a chuck now. I'm going to try send this one out a good bit. Try send it straight out if I can. Nice little bit of distance out there now. And it's hit bottom. Current's definitely picked up. I can see there's a bird out in the water. Probably can't see him from where the camera is. There's a bird out in the water. I just see him moving past nice and speedily. If the current does pick up a bit much, because the outgoing current here, well, in the Shannon's always much worse than the incoming. So if I need to, I can move just down here to my right. Keep my ratchets on. I don't know what to do. I can always throw down here and start putting leads that way. prefer not to. I'm kind of happy up here. But with the current going out, it's going to come down. Bird here is chasing something. It's up and down a lot trying to grab something. You can see him under the water. But he's really after finding something to chase. But as I said, yeah, the current's now starting to move this way. So with where I am, the current's going to come down. It's going to hit this wall, or it should hit this wall, and then move out. So I should get a lot of current here. So if it ends up going that way, I can move down here, and the current should push off the edge of this rock. So this bay here, or this piece here, should be relatively calm, or relatively sheltered. But I'll see. Not gonna move unless I have to. I like this. I like where I am right now. Let's get the next bait ready and next rod casted out. So I'm after moving my rods down a bit. So I'm after, it's a bit slippier coming down these rocks, but I'm able to actually fish here a little easier. So I did have my rods just set up here in the grass bank, casting straight out. But with the tide starting to run now out, the leads were starting to swing around anyway. So instead of getting caught in any bits of rock that were sticking out here, I said I'd move down a little bit further and end up actually casting straight out. So left hand rod now is straight out. Current has moved a small bit, but it's nothing crazy. And the right rod is maybe 40 yards out here. So it's not out that far at all. But again, there's still no fish. I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. Baits are coming back perfect. I'm not even finding crab activity. I imagine on the right rod now I will have some crab activity on it, just because it's in closer, it's out of the current. My assumption is there's bound to be a few crabs floating around there, but I just have to see what comes up. About to reel in the left rod. Might as well do that now, but there's been a few showers on and off. Nothing crazy. I'm definitely avoiding a lot of the weather that's currently there. Tighten up my reel seat. I'm definitely avoiding a lot of what is out there. That's a bit, come on. I think I have a ball of weed here or something. There we go. It's up. So I can see as the lead's coming in, it's swinging to my left. So there is a good bit of current here. Keep it all up high. Get this rebaited and recasted. So at the moment as well, I'm trying to learn how to put a bit of distance on my cast. Now, I'm pretty confident I'm able to hit 120, 130 yards most of the time. But I want to be able to get a bit further, maybe that 150 yards or whatever. But just there's certain marks where it seems like getting that little bit of distance helps. So I'm trying to learn how to do it. And if anyone wants to give me some critiques, I'd gladly. Personally, I'm finding that putting too long of a drop on it isn't actually making it easier. So, as I said, I'm just learning, figuring it all out. Trying to figure out longer, is it slower for me? Well, we'll see. I'm not trying to put massive power into it yet, just trying to get the timing down and the feel of it, as it wouldn't have been something I've ever done before. I might record actually one in slow motion in a minute, throw it in. Someone then who knows probably a bit more about getting a bit of a inertia cast can tell me what the hell I'm doing wrong. This is by far no way I'm perfect at it. Give it a go. I'm going to reel this rod actually in as well. This needs to go out. So going to call that session there now. Rain's starting to come down. I hope you're warm and cozy at home, but I'm not very here. But there's too much rock starting to come out because tide's dropping, and then I'm going to have to walk down further, and with the rain it's just getting very slippy. So I'm better off calling it now rather than later when, or possibly if something happens. I was expecting a few more fish. I'm surprised all I got was a dog. Looked perfect, ground is lovely and clean. Snapped up once, but that was because I just lobbed the cast 40 yards out. Didn't surprise me, there's probably rocks down there. But yeah, very surprised I didn't get more than just a dog. But look, I'm definitely will come back and give it a go. It seems quite clean, as I said. Once you're out 40, 50 yards, or I suppose 50, 60 yards, it seems like it's flat sand or flat mud, I'm not too sure. I did notice, the only thing I did notice is when I was casting this way, baits were getting stripped, whereas when I was casting this way, they would come back very, like, perfect. So I don't know if there's a change in ground there or what, but look, give it a go the next time. And as well, if anyone is proficient at the pendulum cast, have a look at mine, see what I can do. I'm still not fully comfortable with it. I still need a few days just playing around with it on the beach with just a lead. You obviously don't get as much practice time when you're actually fishing because the rods are in the water for so long. But yeah, I'm going to call it here. Rods are starting to lift now off the ground. The log here is actually keeping them down, so there's quite a fair tide pull. But as always, please like, please subscribe, and thanks very much for watching.